Well, one of the things on GetConnected we like to do is teach you all about the latest business tools. And when you think business tools, you're probably thinking printers, computers. Well, another important one is the whole marketing and advertising aspect as it relates to the internet. I've got Martin Byrne with me today from Yahoo Search Marketing, and we're going to try to understand how you can use the internet more effectively for your business, and it's not as costly as you might think it is. So, search marketing, maybe you can just define that in English.
Sure, no problem, Mike. Search marketing is basically when a small business takes advantage of the massive volume of searches that are happening every day. As probably anyone who uses the internet knows, a vast majority of people use search engines as their first stop for both on and offline product and service decisions. What search marketing allows a small company, a medium-sized company, even a large company to do is tap into that qualified audience and draw that traffic towards their site. The real value in that is that not only do you increase the traffic to your website, but you increase the traffic to your website of qualified consumers that have already identified that your product or a word associated with your product is something of interest to them. So by the time that they see an advertisement for their product, or the consumer sees that advertisement, they have already decided that that's the category of information they're interested in. So it moves them much closer to being a likely candidate for a transaction with your organization.
Well, that's kind of interesting because, I mean, there's literally billions of searches happening every day around the world. And when you say that these people are looking up specific words, maybe, can you give us an example?
Sure. One of the misconceptions around search marketing is that it's a tool only for organizations that are associated with very popular words or very popular brands. In fact, it's a very powerful tool for organizations that have very niche markets, where maybe only a few people a day may use search on a particular term relative to their organization. Favorite example I use is DeLorean. One day I was sitting with a friend and saw some clips about Michael J. Fox in his film Back to the Future. And while watching that, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool to own a DeLorean?
It's a cool car.
It's a cool car. Yeah. And then my friend turned to me and said, well, do you even know where to find a DeLorean? Do you know how much a DeLorean costs? And I said, I have no clue. So my first stop was a search engine. And I typed in DeLorean, and I found a small little company in California called DeLorean1.com. Now, I imagine the number of people that search for DeLorean every day is a very small number of people. And without the search engine and without search marketing, I would have never found these guys. Now, granted, I also found out that a refurbished DeLorean is $74,000 US, so that was the end of that dream right there. But if I had been in the market for it, the search engine and that organization leveraging a search engine would have been the only way I probably would have connected with that organization. So especially for organizations that have niche products and small markets, search marketing is probably one of the best ways to kind of root out those really hard to find, very narrow band clients that are hiding out there across the world on the internet.
So, I mean, even if you're like some sort of craftsperson making specific types of sculptures or maybe even certain types of jams, I know that sounds crazy, and a lot of those folks might think there's no way I can afford search marketing, but those types of things would be ideally suited?
Exactly. A small business can get started in search marketing for as little as $10 a day.
Does that get them anything?
That gets them as much. It all depends on the value of the words they're searching on. The thing about search marketing is it's not so much a service we provide as much as a market that we open up. Different words have different prices, and it's quite amazing. The range can be from as little as 10 cents a click for words that aren't very commonly searched for, there's not a lot of competition for, or words like insurance, which right now is about $12 a click. So depending on who you are and what kind of words you're looking for, some areas are very competitive, some are not. So it varies. But $10 can get you as much as 1,000 qualified clicks to your website.
And if you have a specific business, service, or product, that's invaluable.
Exactly. 1,000 pre-qualified candidates walking through your door every day for $10. That's quite good.
That's pretty cheap. Well, you think a lot about advertising now, and especially things like print advertising. You're taking out an ad in a newspaper, for example, and you don't really know who's reading it. You got a general idea. It's kind of more of a shotgun approach to it, but I guess, again, with the search marketing, you can really narrow down that topic.
Exactly, and that's exactly the value of search marketing is a small company can really mitigate the risk of advertising. Because you're right, there's that classic notion that I know 50% of my advertising budget works, I just don't know which 50%. Well, with search marketing, you don't pay for any traffic you don't get. So if you buy 1,000 clicks in a day, you have gotten 1,000 clicks. There's no wasted money coming from your budget. For a small business, that's very, very important because you don't have a lot of money to kind of take risks on that shotgun approach to advertising.
I think I might even try this for my business.
I hope it works.
Well, thank you very much, Martin Byrne from Yahoo Search Marketing. You can go to our website on a regular basis at GetConnectedTVShow.com and even tune into the show because on a weekly basis we are going to be teaching you more about search marketing and how you can use it effectively for your business.